Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Chris with the C. Hope you're all doing well. Thank you very much for joining me today. Guys, on the table, I've got a bunch of 3D printed parts for my good guy, Tyson from Garage Life. Now, as you know, on the channel, I've supported Tyson with he supported me, I should say. That's probably the best way of looking at it. Tyson has always sent me over parts for each vehicle I've got. And the idea is what he tends to do is find solutions for when the stock parts kind of fail. He looks for a better version in a 3D printed part. Now, 3D printed parts can be good and bad. Let's get that out of the way. You could buy 3D printed parts off the likes of eBay and they'd be absolute rubbish. They don't last 2 seconds. But every time I put a Garage Life, and this is straight up now, I'm not trying to, sell you eggs for no reason. Every time I put a Garage Life part on my vehicle, e.g. like a wing mount or something like that, they've always lasted. The battery trays I've had on my Team Corrali vehicles have always been spot on. And he's hooked me up with a few bits and bobs. As you can see, I've got the subscribe button off him up there. By the way, guys, I was a little bit late to the party because my tea alarm went off. Hey! If you don't know what I mean, Google it, guys. It was hilarious. Us in the UK, we drink tea all the time, apparently. I am going to be fitting some parts to Big Red and also the Incredible Hulk. And I wanted to kind of show you the bits and bobs he sent over to me. I've always found his parts, he takes a lot of time. He's a kind of mum and pop business, if that makes any sense. You in the UK is like a hot grassroots kind of scenario. And he takes his time. He goes out and bashes the vehicles himself and really kind of hones in his designs. It's not just a case of going to grab a file off Thingiverse or something like that and, just printing off for anyone. Anyone can do that. If you've got 3D print, anyone can do it. But what he tends to do is he'll try a part out, he'll redesign, even down to like colour or matching parts on a vehicle. Like when I had the Creighton EXB, for example, I was after a red wing mount for the vehicle and the colour match was spot on. So big shout out, Tyson, for all your hard work. Honestly, guys, there will be a link in the description where you can get these parts as well. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to have a quick sip of my tea because, again, that's what we do. And I'll show you the parts he sent over and all the bits and bobs, including some nifty tool stands. And essentially, we're going to be then fitting. I have got some parts for the X-Maxx and the Outcast 8S. I want to get onto the vehicle because we have got Heatherton this weekend. And yeah, I hope you enjoy the video. It's just something a little bit different. And honestly, guys, get yourself over to Garage Life. The quality of these parts is spot on. I'll see you in a second. Okay, guys, so as you can see on the table, I've got a selection of bits and bobs here, all right, that he sent over. Now, I've been using his diff stand, his 3D printed diff stand for a while on many of the builds on the channel. Absolutely awesome. A little bit of dirt on there, obviously, from where I've been using it. But yeah, absolutely wicked, especially for your Arrma cars. These fit absolutely perfect. You drop your diff into there, it holds it, your screws and everything go in there. Awesome. Now, on the table, guys, what he's kindly done here is he sent over a selection of parts for various different vehicles. Now, as you know, on the X-Maxx recently, I've been having issues with bumper springs. Now, what he has designed here, guys, is a 3D printed bumper spring for the X-Maxx. As you can see, the actual design is all bendy, and what he tends to do here is design parts that are going to last, not just so the 3D printed material that he does for these vehicles are absolutely superb, even down to kind of labeling which part goes where, because I don't know whether your camera will pick that up there. As you can see, there's R there, and then on this one there will be an F. So we got front and rear bumper springs for the X-Maxx there. Again, Garage Life RC, as you can see, you've got the logo in there as well. 3D printed, is going to flex and bend and allow me to kind of crash and sort of smash the car, but not worry about it too much. Now, I've got a selection. Let me just show you. I've got a selection here of broken Traxxas parts. So to kind of put this in perspective, the stock parts have a nasty habit, as you can see, of snapping. And the reason being is because there's not much material there and they don't flex as well as you want them to. So obviously a big heavy vehicle, 8S vehicle, comes down on the front and then they snap, which then causes stuff like that to happen. As you can see, I have replaced the bumper on the X-Maxx. Now, this was the first time I took the car out. I then, on the second run, took the car back out and crashed it, unfortunately, because it turns out my front shocks weren't set up correctly. So the idea is with this now, obviously I'm going to take less damage, and obviously when I have a front end impact or a rear end impact, it's going to flex rather than break. So I'm going to be fitting those. We have got the side skirts, as you can see, this Garage Life side skirts. You can just about kind of make out the logo there. Absolutely awesome. It's because of the lighting. Again, it'll actually help with side impacts on the vehicle. With these flexing, I'm not going to have too much of an issue, am I? All right. The other issue we tend to have with our X-Maxxes is batteries. All right. The issue you tend to get is obviously your battery packs might not be using Traxxas. You might be someone like myself who prefers to use their batteries on many different vehicles. So he has come up with a solution. Now, the battery straps that come in here, just to kind of put this, this is my Team Corrali Synchro, as you can see. And I've been using this for a while. These battery straps are absolutely awesome. Kevlar battery straps, and they just work great. They kind of flex, but are very sturdy. The Velcro is very, very good. I've got this on this Synchro. I've got it also on my Punisher 4. I've had it on my Asuga. You know, really, really good battery straps that never had one break on me. So that is awesome. As well as that, guys, now one of the issues I've got on Big Red is a bumper spring. Again, this will flex and bend and allow me to kind of crash and bash the car, bump it, and, you know, just do the typical things I do here on the channel because I'm driving like an idiot. And just another aftermarket solution that Tyson offers. We've also got a flexible wing mount. Again, that's another problem that you tend to have on these big 8S vehicles, is big heavy vehicle, lands on the back wing, snaps the stock one, and then you've got problems. But obviously he's come up with that solution. I've got some stickers off him, obviously. Guys, Garage Life RC. And now, just to kind of point something out here, because I have got the website here, 2 seconds. His website is very easy to use, guys, as you can see. I've been very happy using it. I've got no issues. We've got Arrma, Traxxas, Team Corrali, Techno. Oop, hang on, let's have a look. Techno, Hobby Wing, Lossy, Kevlar battery straps, take off parts off of some vehicles, and then random 3D printed parts. So for example, if I want to go to Techno, because obviously I've got a Techno, what we have got there is the ETEB 410.2 flexible wing mounts, and then you obviously get a little showing you, and then obviously paid. Now they are obviously in America, but everything comes up in pounds, shilling, pence if you're in the UK. £16 for a wing mount, definitely worth looking into. You also got some mud guards for the 8S Outcast. Now I might not be fitting these because I'm not sure whether I want to change the colour scheme yet, but when I change the colour scheme, I'm going to be fitting them. So I'm going to leave them at the moment. And we've also got a flexible wing, guys. Now, this is completely his own design. As you can see, a lot of the problems we have with our buggies, truggies, anything basically with a wing is obviously on a rear impact. A lot of the wings tend to snap and break, but Tyson's come up with obviously his own. He's done it in this lovely looking green colour here. So the idea is obviously I'm going to be fitting that, and I'd imagine I'm probably going to fit that to my Punisher. Might be a little bit heavier than the stock one, but I know that's not going to break. So they are the parts, and then I'm going to show you. He's also come up with this neat little kind of tool caddy stand, all right, as you can see here. So the idea is you've got Garage Life obviously on the side, you've got little magnets underneath, as you can see, holding it all down. So they you can put in whichever way you want to. And the idea is so for example, nut driver. So I put that in. Oh, hang on. Let's put that in there. That is then going to go in like so. What else we got? Speed tips. So again, I've got some speed tips. I can place that in like that. And also hex drivers Gen 2. What else we got? Hex drivers Gen 1. Again, speed tips. So let's say I want to have Gen 1, Gen 2. There you go. And we can put in our drivers. All neat and tidy. No issues at all. That then goes in like so. So 2, 2.5. What else we got here? A 1.5 driver. That can go in like that. We can then, I've got another set there. So all my drivers are going to be kept neat and tidy. Or I could have all my 2.5s in one place. Like that. And then we got a 1.5 there. So nice and easy. And then if I want to put my speed tips in, nice little solution for when I'm working. So for example, got my speed tips, MRP speed tips there. That then goes in like so. We've got a 1.5. That can go in there. Just easy solutions. All speed tips can go in. Anything that I need to use. I really, really like this idea. And then I could just change it out. You know, obviously we've got other ones. Nice little solution, nice little tool caddy. Very well designed. Just like that. I think that's cool. Now, what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to get one of the cars on a bench. I'm going to adjust the camera slightly. And then I'm going to swap the parts over and I'll show you the parts on the vehicle. How's that? I'll see you in a second. Right, okay, guys. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to replace the stock bumper spring here, okay, with Tyson's version. Now, the reason why I'm doing this is because, unfortunately, the Arrma one has a tendency to break. And the one on this Outcast has broken. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to remove these off the vehicle with a 3mm driver. Very easy to do. I'll explain to you why. Now, I want to say a huge thank you to each and every one of you obviously watching all the videos at the moment, all the likes, shares and subscribe that go on the channel. Guys, honestly, I can't thank you enough, really. It's crazy to think the channel has come from absolutely nothing in the space of 2 years to where we are now. I think we're just over 5,100 subs. And I've never anticipated it growing the way it has. I'm just blown away with how you are in the community and you know, all the participation, whether it be on my live streams, on the videos, in the comments. Now, I do try to get to all my comments. Recently, I've been flat out with work, so obviously I do apologise if I haven't been replying to them at the moment, but as time goes by, guys, I will be settling down one night sort of every week to do the comments and just get through and answer all your questions. Now, you can get hold of me on Facebook. Again, I try to reply to everyone. Sometimes it's a little bit hard. As you can imagine, I have got a family. I do work a full-time job. So I'm trying to find at the moment time to just answer everyone. So I do apologise if I'm not getting back to you as quick as some people might like. Now, guys, what I will say, though, is I have got a Facebook group, RC Buddies V2, where there's my trusted crew kind of in the admin team there, and many amazing members that along the way. If you've got any questions, please, by all means, come and join it. RC Buddies V2. Again, link will be in the description. And obviously, if you want to just come and have a chat or show us your builds, awesome. Right, okay. So, here we got the stock part, as you can see. Now, what tends to happen on these, as you can see, the loop cracks. And that's because a big heavy impact on the front. And they don't flex, guys. So what Tyson has done here is obviously beefed it up around this area, which does tend to break, and it's also made from flexible TPU. So as you can see, the difference between the two is massive. So I'm going to install that back onto the vehicle. Now, again, all these parts he's tried and tested, so it's not like you're fitting any old nonsense to the vehicle. As you can see, fits straight in. All the stock screws will be able to go back in. And then obviously that's an upgraded part there. I'm going to pause the video 2 secs, guys. We're going to install the bumper spring back on, and then we're going to crack on with the rear wing. Right, okay, so I've now got the front bumper spring on, guys. That's all on. The bumper is going to feel so much better. As you can see, there is, watch now, see the springs compressing? The idea is these will allow some flex when landing on the front end. So, hell of a difference there. I will do some close-up shots when we're finished here in a second. Quickly turning the car around. Now we're going to concentrate on the rear wing, guys, okay? So the idea is here now is we're going to basically remove the rear wing. I'm going to obviously take this off the vehicle now, and I'll explain to you the differences between the two. Now, there is 2 versions of this, I believe. So you've also got one with a wheelie bar and one without. So I'm going to take it all off and then remount it to the vehicle, and fingers crossed you'll be able to see the difference. But at the moment we've got a little bit of flex, but these are known for snapping, so what we want is flex and not snap. All right, so I'm just going to do that 2 seconds now. Right, okay, so as you can see, I've removed the stocked wing mount off. Okay, so the idea is now obviously we're going to be going with the garage life wing mount, and as you can see, guys, let me just open this up for you quickly. There's a lot more material on this wing mount for a start. So you've got a more stout wing mount, all right, like so, but it's also going to allow the wing on the back of the vehicle to actually flex and move at the same time. So if you do land on your wing, what's going to happen here is basically this will take the impact rather than snapping the wing off. This, well, look at it. There's hell of a difference there. As you can see, this one's a lot more, this one's a lot more thinner, less material, not as well designed in my opinion. And, you know, obviously that's going to be a break point. As you can see, flexing and moving, yes, that does flex, but what will happen, it'll also snap. You've got a shear point in it, whereas this is designed to flex. Okay, so I'm going to get this back onto the vehicle now. The idea is here is literally just put the screws in, get it all mounted into the vehicle. Let's have a look. Right, okay, so put my screws in. I believe it uses the stock screws. Let me just check. Which are, by the way, the 3mm hex screw. Yeah. I'm going to put another one in here. And it's all about basically dissipating forces. These are a big heavy vehicle. I mean, what are we talking, 25 pound in weight maybe, so something like that. And as it lands, that energy has got to dissipate somewhere. So instead of it going on the plastic, it's going through the TPU and flexing. So it's kind of like a shock absorber, but for your wing, if that makes any sense. I'm going to pause 2 seconds. I'm going to install it back on the vehicle, and then obviously I'll show you the finished product. Right, okay, so got the wing on, nice and sturdy, guys. Already you can see that is going to flex a lot better. Now, to put this on, which is your wheelie bar. So your wheelie bar. We'll go with that. Obviously, what you're going to do is just literally place it in like so. We need 1, 2, 3, 4. So that he's actually accounted for this. Now, whereas obviously with my 6S, He's accounted for the wheels or wheelies, or I don't know how you want to pronounce it. As you can see, this will go straight on to his wing. One there. So the beauty of this will now flex rather than putting all that force onto the rear wing. There you go. So that's now on the vehicle. As you can see, there it is allowing some flex there as well. On the stock wing mount though, there are these little screws here that you're going to need to pop out. See them? So there, let me just get a driver, which is there. You're going to need to keep these. Oh, there's one. And then also going to need to remove the other at the same time. These little nylock nuts. All right. So the idea is you are going to need a, I believe is 7mm. Yeah, 7mm nut driver. So to place your wing underneath, obviously you're going to need to pop them underneath like so, and then obviously screw into that. So I'm going to do that while I'm here now. I know I've just got a, let's have a look. We have got a screw, a nylock. There it is. Big old piece of kit, this car. Put your wing on, like so. Screws go in, 2.5mm, and obviously we're going to need, I think it's a 7mm nut driver. So let's have a look. Hex drivers, nut drivers. By the way, guys, tools I'm using today: Team Corelli electric screwdriver, MIP speed bits, including one I got off eBay for the 3mm. And also my handy dandy Method RC nut drivers and also hex drivers. Let me just check. I'm sure that's 7mm. Yes, it is. Okay. Now, you need to pull this off the bench a second to actually get at it. So let's pop them over there. Pop these over here. What I could have done is this. Now it is, I'm not going to lie to you, a little bit awkward because I have put the wing on. I'm going to pause 2 seconds, sort this out, and then come straight back to you. Okay, so we now have the wing installed, guys. I'm not going to lie, getting the nylock nut in the wing was a bit of a pain in the backside. Ugh, let's turn the car over. But yeah, but what I ended up doing was having to add some something in the bottom by here just to kind of hold the screw in. But as you can see, the wing is a lot more flexible, so it's going to allow me to kind of, I've got the front and rear now kind of sorted, and it's going to allow some movement and flex. So that is all done there. The actual quality of this is absolutely spot on. Like I said, I've got no issues with the design. I'm quite happy with the way Tyson has done it, and you know, you can see he's actually put a bit of time and effort into actually making these parts. They're not just standard bits. Not something, you know, you can kind of pick up off eBay. Well, you can actually, I tell a lie, because he's got his own eBay store. But it's not your run-of-the-mill stuff is where I'm coming from. And that's not because, obviously, he's been kind enough to send these bits over. You can see the difference. I've had enough parts for vehicles to know the difference, all right? So it's up to you whether you trust me in what I'm saying there. Next up, we're going to install the bumper springs on the X-Maxx. I'm going to quickly show you a quick video now of the parts installed onto Big Red. And we'll move on to the X-Maxx. Last thing to point out here, guys, okay? This is obviously Big Red's body. What he's done is actually moved the wing back ever so slightly to stop it fouling with the body now, as you can see. All right, so it won't catch on the body at all, which is awesome because previously, obviously, this part was kind of tucked into this recess here. But now, as you can see, kind of spaced it out a little bit. There's a bit more room. It's not going to foul with the body. Job done. So as you can see, guys, I got Big Green on the bench. I haven't taken the wheels off. Absolutely adore this truck. And I mean, I really, really like this one. Now, one of the big issues I got, though, as you know, as I mentioned earlier on, was this flipping bumper spring. Honestly, I've had a nightmare with it. As you can see, totally snapped. The idea is we're going to install these bumper springs that Tyson has made up for this truck. Now, the idea is going to direct fit in there. All right, that part is going to sit in and then support the bumper. So I'm going to take it off. And I'm going to install it back in the vehicle and I'll show you the difference. But look, as you can see, I've even got the lower RPM bumper spring installed in there and that still didn't stop it. So now, fingers crossed, this part here, all right, is going to give me a lot more support on that front end on a heavy impact. Part of the problem is I didn't have the front springs adjusted and I was causing the car to dive down, sort of crash on the bottom of the car, and essentially I did some damage to the bumper and did some damage to the lower skid plate underneath here. But fingers crossed these parts are going to help me. So yeah, pause the video, remove this. Or actually, I'll tell you what, let's do it while we're on camera, shall we? Because I got some speed bits, so that'll be easy enough to do. Very simple thing to do. 2 screws, one there. These little 2.5mm screws. I love working on these Traxxas as well, very easy. Took me a little bit of time to get used to it. There's another one there. Another one here. So as you can see, that part just fell out then. So that's the broken part there, guys. So now we've got the bumper spring removed. As you can see, guys, the difference is night and day. Huge difference. So I'm going to now put this back onto the vehicle. And it should fit straight back in. 4 screws and done. Problem solved. I love the fact that someone has gone, do you know what, I can fix that. Let's put a screw in here. So now we've got Garage Life bumper spring upper and RPM on the lower. So this front end should basically take a lot more impact now. There you go, guys. All those issues are now out of the way and gone. So the idea is that's now going to flex. If I have an heavy impact, all that shock is taken away by this piece of TPU there. See that? Much, much better. That between that and the RPM spring underneath, hell of a difference. So let's just quickly swap around the rear. And there's the broken part, as you can see. So I managed to snap 2 of these. Don't get me wrong, they were cheap enough, but it's not nice having to replace them every time we go out. So just move this around now so you can actually see it happening. Ugh. Like so. Again, 4 screws. Longer ones at the top. Another one there. Shorter screw, obviously up at the sort of back of the bumper. Now the back one, I haven't damaged yet, alright? But quite honestly, I don't want to either. So I will keep this part as a spare. But we are going to be, let me just show you. So there is the Garage Life version. And obviously there's Traxxas's part. Big difference in the amount of T-reel supporting it, isn't there? So longer screws go at the back here because obviously they've got to go through the 2 pieces of plastic. That's one. Like so. Huge difference in how this is going to kind of help out with durability. Can't wait to get this out on the weekend. We've got Heatherton, Tenby RC's Bash coming up, Battle of the Beasts, and I really can't wait to let this one rip. I will put a video up of the event, guys, on the channel. As you all know, I'm a big kind of community guy, and this is one of our big events. So it'll be nice to go out with the boys from Pantside, see the boys from Ceredigion, and obviously go see Robbie and the boys in Tenby. But yeah, epic. Right, there you go, guys. So that's the bumper spring done on the rear now. That should definitely give me a bit more strength there. And yeah, absolutely awesome. Now, battery straps wise, I'm not going to fit them in this video, all right, because I want to, I've got some new packs coming. I want to see so I can advise people on battery placement, you know, whether the batteries fit. I was assured by the company that's going to be sending me the batteries that they would fit in the X-Maxx perfectly. So I'm going to leave these in for now. And if they don't fit, it's not a bad news here, because I'm going to be fitting the battery straps in anyway. But I want to kind of, the guys who don't want to go to obviously upgrading the battery straps, I want to kind of report back and let you know whether the stock battery trays work okay. Right, let's see what's up. By the way, guys, I forgot to show you, I have installed the Garage Life. They look like side steps. Now what these are, guys, okay, are for side protection. So should you land on the side of the vehicle, these plastic ones are basically fitted in like that. They're the Traxxas ones. Garage Life has made his own, and the idea is this will now flex to allow for shock protection, rather than having the piece of plastic on there and pushing against the side of the vehicle like so on an impact. So yeah, again, awesome bit of kit. Very well designed. Well done, obviously, Tyson, for the design. I absolutely adore this truck. I got to be honest, this was my dream truck, and I'm so glad to be adding just little touches to it because it was already an awesome machine. I'm very, very happy. Right, let's go up top. Let's talk about the parts. Welcome back, guys. Okay, so parts are now fitted on Big Green and also Big Red. Epic, you know, really well designed, and I think that's the difference with Tyson and Garage Life. I mean, he understands the issue and comes up with a solution. And I may sound pathetic, I know, but silly little thing like a wing mount. You could be out and about, and let's say you're out with a Outcast 8S. Outcast 8S is like 25 to 30 pound in weight. Yeah, you come down, you snap a wing, right? You've got no rear support or any protection on the rear of that vehicle. So, you might not want to push the vehicle as hard then. Same with the X-Maxx. I was aware when obviously the bumper went out that I had no protection on the front. So if I did have a bad landing, I could have possibly ended up with like a bulkhead. I've never had one of Garage Life's parts fail on me. And I've had a fair bit off him now, you know, absolutely awesome. I want to say a huge thank you to Tyson for allowing me to look at these parts and continuing to support the channel. Guys, there is a link in the description where you can go over and get these parts, obviously where you'll be able to find them. And there's a permanent discount code for all you guys at home if you should want to go ahead and buy some bits off him. Get yourself a discount. He does ship all over the world. Epic, honestly, guys. Till next time, guys, I want to say a huge thank you obviously for watching all the videos. All like, shares and subscribes are absolutely amazing. If you're not subscribed, guys, consider subscribing. It makes a huge difference to me and cost you nothing. Till next time, stay awesome. Catch you later.